your best requires commitment. We share that dedication to excellence. Introducing new Titleist 917 medals, the standard for complete performance.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a special conference at the Emirates Australian Open. We were joined by three of our leading amateurs, all in the top 20 in the world, which is just a fantastic result, especially when we've had another couple just go pro in recent times. So let me just introduce you for those who don't know. On my immediate right here, your left, is Harrison Endycott. He's won the Lake Macquarie Amateur, the Avondale Cup, Riversdale Cup and the South Australian Classic this year, and then went on to win the Porter Cup in New York. Next to him, Coletta, who is runner-up in the Asia Pacific Amateur, runner-up in the New South Wales Open, and followed in Stuart Appleby's footsteps and won the Queensland Open, first time in 25 years as an amateur. On the far right, your left, Curtis Luck, the number 2 amateur in the world, West Australian Open champion. He's won the US Amateur and also the Asia Pacific Amateur Championship. The three of them are all great mates, and we'd ask you to ask questions and specifically address their names so that we can get it on the transcription correctly, if you could ask them. So it's Harrison, Brett and Curtis. Guys, of course I forgot to mention the Eisenhower Trophy, which Harrison and Curtis were key parts of. Fire away, this is going to be a great week for all of them.
This is for all three of you. Obviously 17 years ago Aaron Baddeley was competing against the biggest golfer that we had. Fast forward, is Adam Scott the equivalent of Greg Norman for you guys? Like, is that who you're looking up to and who you'd love to beat?
Well, in my opinion, I'd say yes. Obviously, Greg Norman was probably just out of our era, so yeah, Adam Scott's probably been the guy that we've looked up to as an Australian ambassador. So I'd say, yeah, it's pretty cool to be playing in a field with obviously Adam Scott playing this week.
Yeah, pretty much. He's hit it on the head right there. Obviously, you know, Australian golf's in great hands, you know, with us amateurs and professionals. You know, Jason Day, he can't go past. He's number 1 in the world at the moment. So, you know, we've got a great, you know, people to look up to in the professional status. But definitely, you know, Adam Scott being in the field this year, he's one of my idols as well. And, you know, I'm really keen to go out there and play against him.
Yeah, look, definitely the boys summed it up with Adam. Look, he's a guy that we've mainly all the Aussie guys have really looked up to, being Australian and that, but at the same time it's pretty special to be in the field with Spieth this week, as you know, he's still a kid out there, and for the phenomenal things he's done too. So you know, it's really special to be a part of that. So, and he's definitely a guy you want to pick his brain and see how he goes out there. So should be good.
We mentioned Aaron Baddeley. We spoke to him before. For all three of you, he won here 17 years ago. Does it give you faith that you guys might be able to pull up an upset?
Yeah, definitely. Look, I played 9 holes with Aaron yesterday, and it was great to go and pick his brain, what he thought on some few spots around here, because it's definitely a very strategic golf course. And Aaron was very kind to me out there and gave me a lot of courage, and he just said keep doing what you're doing, and yeah, I'm really confident this week, considering the information I got off him.
Obviously, I just met Aaron probably about 20 minutes ago. You know, obviously, 17 years ago was it? He got it done here at this venue. So no, it gives us hope definitely that we can go out there and do it. You know, we've all had stellar years, you know, in different parts obviously. So you know, we're not short of confidence out there, and you know, we're all very determined to do well.
Yeah, for me, I was lucky enough actually to play I think 6 holes with Aaron Baddeley when I was 17 in 2013. Really nice guy, so yeah, it's awesome to obviously be at a venue where he's won as an amateur, and I think we've definitely got the games. If we're playing good, we can definitely compete at this level, and I guess, yeah, it's something that probably favours the amateurs a little bit, is that we all seem to be a little bit fearless, you could say. We kind of maybe we're not so defensive at times, and I think this course, from what I've played it, maybe will suit that. So.
Curtis, your name's already been in the headlines leading up to this tournament. How are you handling the pressure?
Yeah, it's great. It's been a really good learning curve for me. This is my first national open, so I'm just kind of looking forward to getting the week underway. But it's been really good, and as I said, it's going to get busier and busier for me. So it's a great learning experience, and I'm kind of taking it all in.
Brett and Curtis, we know you're good mates, but you're also pushing each other along. Brett, have you forgiven Curtis yet for what he did to you at the Asia Pacific? And Curtis, have you stopped apologising yet for what you did to Brett?
Can you apologise now?
I'm not sorry.
No, well, it's a perfect example. You know, it's a tough one. You know, you go out there and you put your best foot forward and you put yourself out there, and you know he's got to go out there and play his best, and which he did. You know, full credit. He beat me. He beat everyone out there. So, you know, it's like I said, it's a real tough one. You know, it's heartbreaking, obviously, for me. But, you know, it might be an omen moving forward. You know, it might lead to something else in the future. So you just never know.
And I just think we're fortunate enough that we're like close enough mates that like we could get through it. You know, it was a little bit awkward at dinner that night. I think we can both agree, but you know that's how it goes, and we're fine now. So we've known each other since we were pretty young. I think probably 14 or 15. So yeah, we've got past it. And as I pretty much said, I think that night, you know, he was going to definitely go on to better things anyway, and he's proven that the last couple of events he's played.
Curtis and Brett, I guess you guys have beaten, you know, some of the top amateurs in the world. What impact did beating pros have on you in terms of coming into a tournament like this? Do you genuinely come in and think, I can win this tournament, I can beat the pros?
I've had a couple of good learning curve experiences, I guess, in the last year and a half in particular in the professional ranks. Last year I nearly got on top of a professional field at my state open, and I didn't quite get the job done. It was a really good experience for me at the time. I needed it. It kind of taught me how to deal with the pressure when you're coming down the stretch. And, you know, this year I played, obviously, WA Open and managed to get on top of that field. And I think the big key to that week was that it gave me an understanding that your best golf isn't required to win. You need good golf, and you need to be able to manage yourself throughout the week. Golf's a sport full of imperfections, and yeah, you're rarely going to go out and have 4 rounds where you don't hit a bad golf shot. So I'd almost say it's impossible. So just managing myself out there has been super important. And you know, as I said, it's not about playing great golf; it's about playing good golf.
Yeah. So was this addressed to me as well? Okay. Yeah. So basically, I'm in the same boat. You know, my heartbreak, obviously his was WA Open, mine was Asian Amateur. So, you know, learning how to deal with that in the last round, you know, having a lead, you know, the prize ultimately being, you know, having a spot in the Masters. So, you know, that's pretty much the biggest prize you're going to get at as an amateur. So, you know, at the same time, it's probably the best experience or one of the best things that has ever happened to me in that regard. But, you know, I'm just giving myself full credit how I came back from that at the Queensland Open, you know, playing, you know, like I said, not your best golf. You know, you're not going to play your best golf for 4 rounds. It's virtually impossible. But, you know, how you deal with your bad shots or your bad stretches or, you know, your bad thoughts in that regard is, you know, what makes a key player and a champion, I think.
Questions for both Curtis and Brett. Curtis, obviously you'll stay amateur for another few months at least. How hectic has it been in terms of the invites that are coming your way now to play in professional events?
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. I played Asia Pacific Amateur and didn't even realise that was probably going to be my last event whilst I was there as an amateur. Playing in an amateur event, I should say. So, interesting, I guess, pretty good way to go out. But, you know, my schedule is evolving constantly at the moment. I haven't really committed to anything yet because, as I said, it's still evolving. It's getting better and better. So I kind of have to keep my options open at this stage before I really know. Well, I get to know the full extent of what I can play in, particularly early next year. So, yeah, it's been awesome and it's really exciting, and I can't wait to kind of be able to make those decisions on where I'm going to go.
And Brett, for you, obviously there was a lot of pressure on you after winning the Queensland Open. Questions were being asked as to when you might make a decision to turn professional, and I admire the stance that you took on that, but do you have any thoughts that you can reveal at this stage where you're going with that?
It's all up in the air, obviously. You know, it's a tough decision. It really is. You know, you only have to make it once, you'd hope, to turn pro, and you want to do it right. So at this point, you know, everyone's been asking it. It's been a constant, you know, blab on in my ear and all that stuff. But you know, I think I've made the right decision moving forward. You know, it's probably going to help me in the long run. You know, you can talk about the prize money I've lost in the last few weeks. You know, for a 20-year-old, it's plenty of money. You know, it's you know, if you go home and tell your friends that you've earned this in 2 weeks, they're going to pat you on the back. But you know, it's one of those things, you know, you got to look deeper into that and more ahead into your future, and, you know, talking about calendars and where you want to play, you know, that's ultimately where you want to go.
Hard to believe, Harrison, 4 big wins at home and the Porter Cup, and all the questions are for Brett and Curtis. You've kind of been overshadowed despite having a great year yourself. What are you got to do to push in front of these two?
Look, I mean, we've really took a slow and steady progress this year. We've really been patient with a few things, and we just got to keep doing that. Golf's a game where you have a lot of ups and downs, and the last few weeks I didn't play as well as I would have liked, but there was a lot of positives out there. There's a lot of areas in my game that are feeling awesome, and I can't wait to take those skills into this week. At the same time, we all train as hard as each other, and I feel that with those areas in my game, I'm just going to, like I said, I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing, and we're all going to take turns at beating each other and all that. I mean, there's no better feeling when you absolutely smash your mates, but it's the worst feeling when they smash you. So, but if we can keep that attitude and just keep plugging away and having a really slow, steady progress, there's no reason why good things can't happen eventually.
I'll address this question to all three of you guys. I know there's been a lot of discussion about the various reasons why you've kept your amateur status for the moment, but how much confidence do you get out of seeing someone like Cameron in his first start on the US PGA Tour, top 15 finish, he's banked, I think, 130,000 US. How much confidence do all you guys get out of that, knowing that your games are ready to match with the professionals on the big show? Yeah,
so, you know, Cam's obviously someone that's a little bit older than us. So, you know, he's had a very successful, you know, you could call it year as well, you know, at the Eisenhower, which gave him the start in Mayakoba last week and stuff like that. But, you know, he's one that we look up to in that regard. And, like, as a person moving forward as a player, you know, he's done it real well, I think. He's timed it well. But, you know, he's obviously done well last week. But, you know, he's got to find a card soon, obviously. So, you know, it's all bells and whistles and stuff. But, you know, it's one of those things you got to look forward in the future. You know, this is a long game. You're going to play this for a while if you're going to turn. So, you know, I reckon I've got faith in him that he's going to be right, 100%. He's a good enough player, good enough kid, deals with the media fine, he's all good. So, you know, I've got to have a chat to him. I haven't had a chat to him about it, but what he's going to plan for next year and, you know, his way to get into the PGA Tour, his path.
Sorry. Yeah, look, I train with Cam. He's been part of our state team and obviously our national squad. And look, Cam's a really good friend, and he's such a great golfer too. It's fantastic to see him make that transition now. But like Brett said, then you know, the difference between, I think, from amateur golf to professional golf is not as much what you do on the golf course. It is what you do off the golf course. And I think Cam does a very good job on both sides. So I've got a lot of faith in him in the next few years. And he's a guy that, again, we've all beaten at times, and he's beaten us. And that gives us the confidence to go in and do what we do best, and which is hit the ball in the hole. And hopefully it's the least shots as possible this week. So yeah.
I'm good with that. Yeah.
Any more boys and girls? Sorry, mate. Good this time. Thanks all for paying attention and asking so many great questions to the guys. We legitimately hope you all are in here later in the week. That would be the ideal for all of us. So for the first time, and hopefully a lot more to come, thanks for coming into the Australian Open.
Thanks for having us.